$5,000, $50,000, $10,000, and another $10,000. Big free money, stimulus money coming to you under the second stimulus package. It's all there. The question is whether it's going to survive as the Democrats and Republicans maneuver over the next few days. And is hazard pay back on? Meantime, big questions about whether hazard pay on a local level still exists. Is it called bonus pay? And then meantime, viewers of this channel continue to get big money. Big money for rent, utilities, and additional sums of money for food and medicine. Then, what's going on with rent grants on a federal level? Will there be rent grants? And how about money for SSI, SSDI? Does that replace or does that add on to the existing stimulus grants that I just talked about as well? So many grants, so little time, it's all coming, and some of them are already there, with viewers getting upwards of $15,000. Breaking developments today as viewers continue to get big money. I'm focused, you're focused, and let's get to it. And this is a special Thanksgiving broadcast of Purple. Good afternoon, everybody. It's Thanksgiving, and this is a special broadcast of Purple. Boy, exciting news as money is landing in the hands of viewers, thousands of dollars, and you should be the next person, and you will be the next person if you stay with me. Please subscribe, because I'm getting viewers money right now, not 5 days from now, not 5 weeks from now, not 5 months from now, but money right now. And I don't mean a $500 stimulus check. I don't mean $2,400. I mean $15,000. I mean $10,000. I mean $6,000. I mean 6 months of grants, 6 months of free rent. This is not money you repay. This is free money. This was money dedicated to the states to be given to you. You didn't get it. Other viewers have gotten it. If you're just joining me as a new subscriber, stay with me because you're going to get this money as well. Every state has it. Every state is dedicating it. And every state's doing it in a quick way. In the last few hours, one state announced, you know what? We're opening it up immediately because this is use or lose money. They have to spend the money because they only have a few weeks to use it, or they lose it. And I don't want you to lose it. I want you to get it. So please subscribe and please join this community, which is growing faster than any other community out there. Also, like this video. It really helps in the algorithm, especially on a day in today in which the algorithm's still keeping yesterday's Thanksgiving news, or excuse me, last year's Thanksgiving news at the top of the rankings when we're in 2020. In meantime, join me in 15 minutes from now as Sir Lloyd makes a special Thanksgiving appearance on Being a Mitch. Yes, you're excited to hear what he has to say. I don't know if I am, though. In this video, I'll be going over the big grants, whether you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, whether it's EIDL, whether it's CARES Act 1, whether it is the CDC grant or the PPP grant or the Lifeline grant. And then how about hazard pay grants and rent grants and current rent grants and current utility grants? There's so much money out there. And what's important to understand is that the word grant means free. It means you don't repay it. It means it lands in your bank account. It means you qualify for it and it's yours and you don't have to have a credit check or anything. It's another word for stimulus or free or, here you go, enjoy. And now let's get to the breaking news and enjoy that as well. And here's the breaking news. The breaking news as you sit here today is that everyone's eyes are on Congress for not tomorrow, but basically next Monday, as Wall Street believes that Congress will come to an agreement for a second stimulus package before the holidays. In the video before this, I explained to you what would be in the second stimulus package. Likely, Wall Street believes, a stimulus check, another round of PPP, an extension of PUA, an extension of UI, an extension of FPUC, also potentially some hazard pay, and also some additional types of relief. But how about all those grants? And how about this SSI and SSDI grant and the rent grant? How about those? And are those available currently on a local level, or are they available somewhere else? So where is all this money landing? When will it land? And how is it going to be formulated? I'm going to go over all that in this video. Let's get to all the details. First, when we talk about the SSI grant, which is a stimulus item, it's a one-time item, $200 a month every month from now until December of next year to bring you up to date because you've been left behind on this COVID stimulus relief. This is a stimulus-only grant, a stimulus-only payment. It would stop the end of next year. It's different than the 20% increase lifetime and different than the benchmark increase that I talk about on this channel. When would this likely start, and when would we likely see this in a bill? I believe that it would be in a standalone bill. It would be a specific SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad Benefits of Veterans bill that is separate from stimulus. The reason why is the following. One, it's proposed by Joe Biden. Two, it is not proposed by Nancy Pelosi. Three, it's not proposed by the Republicans. Four, it's something that Republicans have proposed in their own bills, and they want this to get passed. And so it's unlikely to be tied up into stimulus, into a very big bloated stimulus package. It's likely to be a standalone bill. Next, rent grants under a second stimulus package. Is that likely to get done between now and December? Hard to say. I don't think so. I think that the focus between now and December is an eviction moratorium and a mortgage forbearance to ensure that you're not evicted and not foreclosed upon. And then they can come back and get the rent grants ready for you in the second stimulus, in the what will be ultimately a third stimulus package in the weeks after that in early January. Next, a CDC grant. That would pay frontline workers? Yes. When would that be around? I don't believe that would either be in the bill that's coming up in the next few weeks over the holidays. I believe that would come thereafter. Then how about PPP, which in a way is a grant? Would that be in the bill during the holidays? Yes. How about hazard pay? Yes, I believe hazard pay would be in the bill that comes around the holidays. But I don't think it'll be $10,000. I think it'll be lower than $10,000, but it would pay essential workers who worked during the pandemic at any time from January up to the present. If you're wondering who's an essential worker, tune in to Purple Power Live tonight at 6:30 Pacific Standard Time. Then, how about EIDL grants? When would that come in? It's likely that EIDL grants could survive, could show up during the holidays, but there's really almost two types of EIDL grants. The first one is the EIDL grants that are for new applicants. Then there is the EIDL grants that pays you the remainder of $10,000. The remainder pays the EIDL to people who applied in June and July and never got paid it. That's likely to come next year. Then how about the other types of items? The big $50,000 Lifeline grant, not going to happen during the holidays. It's too big a ticket item. So I don't see that happening either. So then now you sort of see what is likely to occur now and not likely to occur until January. What's likely to occur now is potentially a version of EIDL, a version of SSI and SSDI, a version of hazard pay, and then what would likely appear thereafter is everything else. Now, the good news as you sit here today, if you've been tuned into this channel, is that there is hazard pay payable on a local level. There is hazard pay available in a private level. And there is also rent, food, and utilities available right now. So let me go over each of those slowly. First, hazard pay is being paid on a local level in some cities and counties by the city and county governments to the essential workers. They've actually set up hazard pay grants, and those are harder to find than anything covered on this channel because they're not widespread. It depends on the city and county. But what is more common is private hazard pay, and those are being offered by the big box retailers during the holiday season. What's important to understand is if you need a job, the big box retailers are hiring what's called holiday seasonal workers in record sums. They need hundreds of millions of workers right away. And if you work during that time, you would likely get paid this hazard pay, what they call bonus pay, because they announced the bonus pay in November and October and said, we're going to pay it for anyone that's working now until the end of the year. And that's whether you're part-time, full-time, seasonal, not seasonal, and that's all really good news. So the fact that you're coming in maybe for just 4 or 5 months of work, you're still going to get that bonus pay. So inquire with your Human Resources Department to find where that bonus pay is. Next, how about the big hazard pay, the $10,000 hazard pay? I don't see that ever happening before the holidays. Happening after the holidays? Sure. It's like rent. What's important to understand is that when the federal government wants to propose a rent program where you get rent from the federal government, or wants to do a program where you get hazard pay from the federal government, that's a very involved process. It requires the program to be set up. It requires the program to be funded. It requires you to apply to the program. It requires the program to review your application, then get back to you on it. And it's just a slow process. It's not something quick. So I don't want you to think that hazard pay for $10,000 is coming in your bank account between now and Christmas. Absolutely categorically, it's never going to happen. Not going to happen. It's too complicated a process. So what is really good news is all this money that's available locally, that is available in your city, your county, your state housing authority for CARES Act 1 grants, and for escalated benefits. And what's important to understand is that you need to go get it now. No less than 48 hours ago, viewers were deeply concerned when they heard that the Federal Reserve was returning CARES Act 1 money that it had, the Federal Reserve, and that Steve Mnuchin put it on a lock and key and said goodbye, never see it again. Viewers are now concerned how often that's going to happen again. I'm going to tell you very clearly, if I've not said it before, I think I have, I'm going to say it again, that this CARES Act 1 money that's available for you to get right now, you need to get right now because it's not going to be around much longer. And ultimately, it's important to understand it's in your city, it's in your county, and it's in your state. Official government is holding the money. If you are looking to private grants, that's fine, but that's not what I'm talking about on this channel. Ultimately, some viewers do get rent paid on this channel by Catholic organizations, by religious organizations, by political organizations in their cities and counties, and they've been very successful, and those charities have been absolutely very wonderful. But that's not what I'm discussing in the substance of these videos. I'm talking about money that is available in your city and county and state, and you need to find your city, county, and state. What's important to understand is that you're really only looking at 3 locations when we're talking about your governments, and then we're talking about your utilities. So let's go over it. Everyone has a city, everyone has a county, and everyone has a state. The money's either being held in your city, your county, or your state, or all of the above. What's important to understand is that, as we see here on Thanksgiving, you should be going to your official city website. If you don't know how to find it, pull open your phone and open your phone, press the little microphone on the front of your phone and say, official city website, Los Angeles. And it will bring up the official city website of Los Angeles. Official county website, St. Louis, and it'll bring up the official county website of St. Louis. That's what's important to understand is that you can go on that official website and then look around for COVID grants. Every website has a search function. You can go around and look for those COVID grants, look for those rent grants, look for those utility grants, look for them right now. They're very straightforward, they're very basic, and very simple to apply for. Next, utilities. Don't forget about utilities: water, gas, electric, heating oil, which I keep on making a joke about. Is it baby oil or heating oil? We don't have heating oil in Los Angeles. Heating oil. Go on your official baby oil website and do the exact same thing. So open your phone again, press that button, that microphone, and if you know the name of who you pay your electric bill to, Nashville Electric Company or whoever they're called, I'm just making this up, official Nashville Electric Company website. Bam, it'll come up, and then you look on it and look for the COVID grants, and they are there. What's important to understand is you need to push. And push means pushing. I have inspired viewers to get $5 to $25 million in EIDL because of this channel, and $250,000 of CARES Act 1 money in less than a week because of this channel, by pushing people, by keeping you motivated, by keeping your narrative positive and keeping you self-focused and informed. The way that you do not get forward in life is saying that nothing exists, nothing ever exists, I don't qualify for anything. I called someone on the phone and they hung up on me, and I called 2 people and I gave up. That never gets you a penny. And what's important to understand is that when I launched this channel on April 25th, I didn't know what I was doing. And ultimately, I saw people with a common problem. They weren't able to get things going with their EIDL, which is administered by a government agency. I said, you need to hound them. I said, you need to get up every morning early and call them. Call them on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I had viewers calling 7 days a week for 2, 3, 4 weeks until they got the money, and they got the money. And I got to tell you right now, had they not done that, they never would have got to the money. They would have lost their businesses. Their employees would have been laid off. Their employees would have lost their homes, and everything would have been a very bad circumstance. Simply because, in many cases, I said, don't stop calling. What's important to understand is if you call the wrong number, or you call a number that says, hey, don't know about it, don't know, doesn't exist, say thank you, have a beautiful Thanksgiving, hang up the phone and call someone else, because they don't know what they're talking about. The best example I give on this channel is someone who called a governor's office. I don't know why they called the governor's office, because the governor doesn't have your money. But they called the governor's office and they said, LALATE told me to call you. I never told anyone to call your governor. And don't use me as a reference point, like I go to lunch or play golf with them. I don't know any governors. But they called the governor's office and LALATE told me to call you. And you apparently have some grants, COVID rent grants in your state. The state's governor's office said, we were never given any money from the federal government, which is sort of hilarious because every state was. That's why it's $150 billion of it. Then they said, we don't even know what you're talking about. As the viewer was sending me that message, I went on the governor's website, and it's literally on the governor's website, right there on the front page. So needless to say, there's people who are not informed about what they're doing in every walk of government, and you should never give up false hope. As one viewer didn't as well. He was from Massachusetts, and there were countless people saying there's nothing in Massachusetts, there's no rent in Massachusetts, there's no single rent program anywhere in the state of Massachusetts. I told him, ignore those comments, those comments are untrue. The viewer ignored it, found the rent program, applied for a family of 4 or 5, put an application in for $14,000, was not modest about how much he needed, and got approved. $14,000 in less than 48 hours because of this channel. That's the spirit of pushing, and you need to push as well. Coming up within 15 minutes of this is a big development on Being a Mitch, in which Sirloin visits you for Thanksgiving. As always, go to the front of the channel, subscribe, also like this video. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, and stay LA for more.